Hey everybody, it's Barbara here, and I have another message for you today. Every day there seems to be some crisis, something to be worried about, some new um, situation that we need to prepare for, or we want to know or try to prepare for. We just are getting bombarded all different areas of our life. We don't know about health insurance, we don't know um, job statuses, and now we have a government shutdown looming. I mean, we've been through this before, but this one feels a little bit different. And we've already had, as soon as the election happened and we had a new president installed, um, a dismantling of so many jobs in so many different areas. And if people aren't being laid off, people are resigning. And so maybe people resigning have a plan B or plan C or enough savings or have planned for this. But have you planned for this? I mean, this can happen in any type of job that you have. Or what's if you even have a spouse that was picked up and taken by ICE? What about the rest of the family? How are you earning a living? How are you surviving? So these are things that we need to think about without panicking. But do you have a plan B? Do you have a plan C? I know a number of years back, because right now I'm ready to turn 72. I'm being very vulnerable, telling my age, but it's part of this story. So even in my 50s, so oh my gosh, it's like 20 years ago, as I was hitting like the double nickels, I call it, I could see the age discrimination. And let's face it, technology and everything changes so quickly that the young people today have very different skills and thinking than we do, even though we have so much wisdom and experience in our fields that we've, focused on, or maybe we have multiple different fields that we've had jobs and careers in, and we bring a lot to the table. But we can also be closed out very easily. I know years and years ago, I was a teacher and I kept following my former husband's career, building his career. It was a higher income, and with the hope that I can stay home and be a stay at home mom, raise my children. So every time I didn't get my master's because I knew that if I went and applied to the school systems in the next state that we were going to be in, I would be closed out because they could pay a graduate so much less. Even though I had so much experience, I had some graduate school hours, but I even specialized in gifted education. Um, I paid attention and I thought, as attractive as that is, although the work the work to get the master's, it's because you want to get raises, and if you're stable in the same school district, that was a good thing. But they can also take in younger and younger, and in corporate, in every job situation, it's you can get beat out because it's cost effective. It's cost effective, especially if the job doesn't require really special skills that nobody else has, unique skills. And I've been hearing more and more on trends and in the workplace that you want to have something unique, something that is not Googleable. But anyway, going back to a number of years ago, I thought, after going through a divorce, especially, I thought I need to protect myself. Actually, it was before getting divorced. I thought, I'm not in the workplace. If something happens, I need to have a resume. I need to have something that is my money that I'm building. And so I wanted to have something that I was building that nobody could take away from me. And I didn't want to invest in a franchise and be gone millions of hours and other kinds of careers. And I found network marketing. And as much as it got poo pooed, and my former husband was a graduate school of business professor. So, it's taught in the schools. This is a business model, this is a reputable business model. But you have to be careful what company you go with. And so I have been with a couple of wonderful companies. And my favorite is the one I'm with now. And we are transparent. We are on the NASDAQ. You may have even been hearing some different companies in our industry all of a sudden closing their doors. So that can happen in corporations too. What happened with bridal stores and brides being left with no dress, and gyms, you show up and the doors closed. it happens all the time in corporate America, and we're no different. Different companies are different, but we've actually closed the closing bell on Wall Street twice. So we have to be transparent, and that was important to me because a private company can just shut down, or you're not privy to all the things going on. But I knew that if I aligned myself with something that everyone needs, that is not going to go away, that is not a trending situation, will only get better, that unique products that nobody else has, global, so we're not always just dependent on a localized area. I'm in Florida. We have hurricanes. I remember when Hurricane Andrew came into town. I mean, people were paralyzed. Insurance offices were closed. Um, Restaurants were closed, damaged. But the people that still had a side gig, and at that time it was a little unusual, they had generators in their house and their neighbors were coming over to find out what it was. Because they can have customers in California and consultants in California and Maine and Ohio and Texas and Mexico and Australia. And so your business is still going on while you're dealing with a major crisis. So that was important to me, not to have something localized. I mean, there's tornadoes, there's hurricanes, there's fires, there's just a lot of natural disasters that happen. Or what's if you are in a car accident? If you develop something and you have a team going with this kind of business model, you still get paid. And I have some incredible life stories of consultants that had built up a big business with a large family, and this saved them. It saved them from a catastrophic situation that happened with them. And so here we are now. We have AI, right? We can be replaced by AI. We can be replaced by as I said, younger people coming into the workplace, and with a government shutdown or any number of reasons. So be sure to have a plan B, and I would even have a plan C. I don't always talk about this, but I also teach English as a second language to China, to Chinese children. And that's a big part of my income. And it's different hours, so it doesn't really affect my other part of my business. I also can branch off. My business is called Wellness Matters, You Matter. And the first part is physical products represented by the company that I'm passionate about and I know helps people with their health in ways that they haven't been able to find solutions for in mainstream ways. Um, and then I have the emotional wellness of it, and I can start a membership. I can do webinars and have classes and workshops. I'm also working on becoming a keynote speaker. So these are the things to start thinking about. I mean, I don't want it to see it hurts our whole economy when people are put in that situation. And I don't know what's going to happen this week, but it made me concerned and I wanted to reach out to you. And we just acquired another company. So that's how viable we are. Debt free products that we need, and it's utilized by all. In fact, all mammals, horses, dogs, men, women, global. Really, what else can you want actually, priced, I think, very fairly. And we have the most incredible leadership. And for me, something that was very, very important is about collaboration. Different companies have different cultures, just like corporate does. And so that was very important to me to be in a helpful, collaborative environment. And so if you want to know more information, please reach out to me. We are growing. In fact, we need to grow more and having more consultants. People are dying for this product, but they need to know about it. And it's about a word of mouth business. Um, in fact, we were at one point when we first started, because we were a biotech company and on publicly traded, and had a story by ABC News done about us. Everybody wanted this product, and so they were researchers. They didn't have product on the shelf yet. And they put the products in GNC and CVS, but there wasn't anybody there to talk about it. They didn't know what it was. We were cutting edge technology with activation, and they put it next to a low supplement like a vitamin C, and people had no idea what was sitting on that shelf. So they brought in consultants. I mean, yeah, consultants, and evaluated things, and they ran it side by side with both business models. And we have a story to tell. We have a story to share with people, and then we can answer questions. We can have presentations by we have so many doctors involved because we're backed by science. Anyway, if that's something that appeals to you, because health isn't going away, we're dealing with more stress today, I think, than ever that I can remember. And we've been through some pretty stressful times, and that runs havoc with our body, just havoc. And I have solutions for that. And so people need this. So reach out to me if I can be of service to you. If you share this, if you know somebody else that's really looking, but please protect yourself. Have some other options. And there's so many ways in today's world that you can have side gigs and other options. And sometimes people think, I mean, there is big money involved, but you do not make big money right at the beginning. It's sort of funny. You say, well, you work really hard for so little at the beginning so that you can work so little and have so much later. So you have to be able to have that low gratification at the beginning and small wins. But I thought I'd share with people, okay, if you are laid off, it's very depressing. You send resumes into a black hole. You can't follow up. In the old days, you followed up. You knew where you stood. Now it's this kind of rejection and uncertainty is very stressful. But what's if you at least had money for your car? What's it to get to an interview? What's if you had enough money at least to pay your cell phone bill? Or your internet. You know, you can keep creeping up and saying, okay, this covers this bill and this bill. Now this is covering my mortgage. Now this is covering my car payment. So that's how you can grow. And isn't that better than having nothing? And also, even I share this all the time through the years, because I've known so many people laid off and or looking for job changes or having to move. And it's you can only interview so much a day and send out so many resumes. It's really depleting. What's if you did that half your day and the other half of your day, it's like, I have something to build that nobody can take away from me. The mindset there, the mind shift there is so huge. Being a business owner and the CEO owner of your own company and your own life without having to be in it alone. That's what's so wonderful about this business model. You are not alone. You have people there lifting you up, answering all your questions, helping you all the way because we want everyone to succeed. So I went on for a long time. I hope this was relevant, and please take this seriously. We are in dark times right now, and I don't know what they're going to do. There's always been bailouts, and there's just too much infighting and partisan situation. So I really don't know what's going to happen in this next week. But be safe and reach out, find other ways to build your portfolio and have income coming into your household. Thank you.